go. Hey Booktube, it's Kim at Middle of the Bookmarch, and this is my bookish week for Sunday. I'm going to say October 8th. Sorry, I think it's the 8th. Let's go with it. So, I've got a lot to talk about today. If you're not interested in the personal health information of this video, I totally understand, and I don't have a problem if you want to go watch something else. I'm going to talk about some books first, and then we'll get into the update that I wanted to share with everybody. So, I did not finish anything last week. It was an exciting week, but I am currently reading 2 books, and I'm going to pick up 2 more, most in honor of Victober. So I am reading The Fraud by Zadie Smith. This is her newest novel, and it is set in Victorian England, Victorian London, adjacent. And I thought, I'm going to make this fit for Victober because I love Zadie Smith's writing. It's set in Victorian times, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Slow going for me, but enjoying it. And I started The Witch Elm by Tana French. I brought our selections to my last in real life book group with the Critical Chicks, and this was one of them. We didn't pick it, but I wanted to read it, so I felt like at the time I was looking for a book that I had on my Kindle. I also have the physical copy, so I can switch back and forth between this and my Kindle copy at work. And so far, so good. I just started it, and I think I'm really going to like that one. I have 2 books that I'm almost positive I will read during the month of October for Victober. I am going to reread Romola by George Eliot. This was a challenge, and out of Eliot's novels, this was my least favorite, but I gave it a 4 stars on Goodreads. And I really want to read it again because it's so rich and full and different. This was her only novel that is, for her, historical fiction. It is set in medieval Italy in the 1400s, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into this and maybe taking a little bit more time with it and doing a little bit of historical research. So that's what I'm going to do. And I want to read this book. This is nonfiction. This is Queen Victoria by Lucy Worsley. And the 24 Days That Changed Her Life. I found this book thrifting, and it's just in immaculate condition, and it's the perfect book for Victober, so I would love to get into this one. So that's all the bookish things I have to let you know about. I'll probably do a book haul soon because I have been getting books in the mail. When do I not get books in the mail? So I'll update on those soon. So here's where I'm going to talk about a personal health update. And like I said, if anybody wants to sign off and go watch something else, I totally understand. So today I'm filming on Saturday the 7th. Yes. On Thursday morning, October 5th, I had gastric bypass surgery. It's a major surgery, but it was done laparoscopically. And I went home on Friday morning. So I've been home since Friday at around noon. 12:30. And let me tell you why I did this. Well, first, let me tell you why I'm even telling you about it. Hold on, I got to make a quick phone adjustment. Okay, why am I telling you this? Why am I about to talk about this? Because YouTube is a visual medium, and gastric bypass surgery is weight loss surgery. And you will see, if you haven't noticed already, that I will be dropping weight pretty quickly. This has been a 6-month process. I first started learning about surgery back at the very end of March. And I have lived with diabetes type 2 for 30 years. So over those years, I've had many different doctors and endocrinologists. And an endocrinologist a few years back mentioned that this surgery could be a cure for diabetes or a way to eradicate diabetes. It works differently for everybody, but it's an option. And at that time, I wasn't interested in pursuing it. I'm a little froggy because of the intubation tube. So I knew it was available. I knew it was there, but I wasn't interested at the time. Well, since my granddaughter was born a little over a year ago, I realized I want to be healthier. I want to live longer. I want to have more energy. I want to feel comfortable in my skin, and I want to know that I have the energy and the strength to be a very old grandma. So I decided at this time of my life, the surgery is right for me, and I started learning about it in March. It has been 6 months of nutrition appointments, classes, therapy appointments, medical doctors, multiple laboratory tests, multiple procedures and checkups of everything. I've had ultrasounds, I've had heart scans, I've had all kinds of things. And that's not the same for everybody, but for me, most of that was necessary to rule out any other kinds of disorders that may affect my surgical outcome. So there, all along the way, there were so many points at which I could have bailed and said, no way, I'm not doing this. This is too scary. But just the opposite happened. It started to feel like, okay, I'm learning more. Now it's becoming more of a reality. I understand a lot more why this could be a benefit to me. And not only a benefit, but a complete change of life. And this could eradicate not only diabetes, but so many other things that are far more minor than diabetes, but still problematic that I live with. And so I started to talk to my husband and my daughters, and everybody had a lot of questions, but ultimately were very supportive. And I didn't say anything to very many more people except for my boss, because I've been out on so many appointments. I didn't want him to think I was interviewing for a new job. So I did talk to him very early on, and talked to my husband, talked to my daughter. And I also talked to one very good friend in person early on. Now here's the interesting thing. Here's the comment I most often received, which was, you don't look like you need surgery. You don't look like you need to lose that much weight. And it's not just about the weight loss. And I have to say, in order to be eligible for gastric bypass surgery, which is bariatric surgery, you have to have a BMI, a body mass index, above a certain number. My BMI was low. It was below the minimum, but it was in a range that qualified because I have diabetes. So my BMI was quite a bit lower than what another patient without diabetes would qualify for. And that's what I tried to explain to everybody, is I'm not doing this just for weight loss. If I was only going forward because of looks or image, I would not have chosen weight loss surgery. But because I can punch diabetes in the face, that's why I chose to do this. It's a very long haul if you are a person who has lived with weight issues or body issues or image of yourself. It's a very long life of struggling and crawling uphill and looking for the next thing that will work for extended weight loss and maintenance. It's a very difficult struggle. And, my mother put me on a diet when I was 11, and there's a lot of TMI that goes behind that statement, and a lot of baggage and a lot of family stuff. But ultimately, that's what happened. And ever since then, it's just been a lifelong challenge with weight. And I found out I was diabetic when my first daughter was born. She was born in 1991. And for the 2 years after she was born, I was sick. I was getting sick every month with different, different things. And nobody could figure out why. And when I look back now, I had all the symptoms of diabetes, but nobody was looking at that. It wasn't until 2 years after her birth that a nurse in my doctor's practice asked me, have you been tested for diabetes? And I said, no. And she instantly looked enraged, and she said, not one person has tested you for diabetes. It would be a blood test. I said, no. And she got so mad, not at me. She got so mad, and she literally said, God damn it. I apologize. But that's such an initial test because of what I was coming to her with. And she ordered a blood test, and in her office she said, "I'm really sorry to tell you this, but you're diabetic, and that's why you're getting sick." And that started my lifelong, adult lifelong journey being diabetic. So many things over the years that have come and gone, and so many doctors and everything, so many medical emergencies and issues. And one of the primary cures for diabetes is weight loss. For type 2 diabetes is weight loss. And I did it all. I mean, I've always done it all. Weight Watchers and shakes and starving and keto and paleo and high protein and fasting and everything. There's so many tricks of the trade for weight loss. I was considering Jenny Craig at one point. I was considering some of those weight loss centers, prepackaged meals, all of it. And I think a lot of us who struggle with our weight have spent years doing that. And we also know that you can lose the weight, but it comes back. And not only does it come back and it brings some friends. It brings some squatters who are very resistant to leaving. So that's where I was at. And it's been a long 6 months of learning and going to each doctor's appointment, going to each lab visit, wondering, what is this result going to tell me? And there were some scary moments of some numbers that came back concerning. And I had multiple labs taken. I had to change the way I ate. I had to drink an enormous amount of water every day. And that actually changed my labs to my benefit. So I discovered some other things about myself. One of the blessings in this whole process before the surgery is I lost 19 pounds just by having to change my diet and pay attention to what those labs were telling me. So I modified my diet. I tried to walk more, but I didn't really put any time into a lot of working out. I actually enjoy going to the gym, but I'm not, a heavy duty workout person. I do like to walk. So I did that. I tried to walk more in my daily life, and I lost 19 pounds. But I was still convinced that gastric bypass surgery was for me. There are two kinds of bariatric surgery that are done legally. The gastric sleeve surgery and gastric bypass surgery. Gastric bypass surgery, and I'm not going to go into all the medical details. Hold on. Just have a little more coughing. But the gastric bypass surgery is the surgery that will most effectively reverse diabetes. And so I was convinced right away, and the surgeon I met with was extremely patient and let me ask all kinds of questions. And he wanted to do what was best for me. He wanted me to tell him what I wanted. And he gave me the confirmation that bypass was right for me. So that's what I did on Thursday morning. So here we are now. That's why I haven't had a lot of time to read. The last several months have been kind of up and down with my time and energy. So here I am now, and it's Saturday morning. I feel sore. I don't have any excruciating pain. I still have the tickle from the intubation tube for surgery. I am on a liquid diet for 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks, you very slowly get introduced to softer foods, and so on and so on and so on. This surgery creates a stomach the size of a small egg, and I have to eat a lot of protein and drink a lot of water. So for the rest of my life, I will be followed by medical professionals, and we'll go from there. And it's going to be one baby step at a time. Since leaving the hospital, on the day I was discharged, I stopped taking a pill that I took for diabetes. I stopped taking a nighttime insulin, and I went so far down on my mealtime insulin that I'm almost on no insulin at all the day of discharge. And I've been tracking my sugars. I actually have a Dexcom G7 monitor, which is an implant on the back of my arm, and it's an automatic blood sugar monitor. So I can see my blood sugars at any moment. I look at my phone, which is my receiver. And since discharge, my sugar levels have been normal, and they haven't been like a roller coaster. It's been mostly a straight line, which is the goal. So I will continue to monitor that with my doctors, plural, and eventually I may be able to go off that last insulin altogether, along with a couple of other medicines that I take. So that's where I'm at. One of the biggest benefits for me in this entire 6-month process is I discovered how pretty healthy I am. I had so many tests. I'm heart healthy, I'm kidney healthy, I am blood pressure healthy, I am physical labs came back all great. And I'm thinking, why am I so tired all the time? Probably because I'm 57 and have a family and a full-time job and a lot. I have a life, so that's why I'm tired all the time. But anyway, so there were a lot of blessings in this process. And as I sit here right now with a scratchy throat and a tummy that's a little sore, I am really looking forward to moving ahead. I'm losing it. I'm losing the voice. To see what's going to happen next. So when you watch my future videos, if you notice a pretty drastic weight loss, it's not because I'm sick. It's not because I have cancer, because I know that question will come up. It's because I had the surgery and it's been such a benefit to me. And because YouTube is so visual, you're all going to notice. So thank you very much in advance for your support and your understanding. I will leave the comments open, but this is what I want. I want positivity. I do not want any advice unless you've gone through this surgery yourself and you have tips that maybe would benefit me. But I don't want anybody to come on and say, well, you took the easy way out, or why couldn't you just do it on your own? I've talked at length with the people in my real life about that, so I won't answer those questions in a comment and will probably delete them because at heart they're just negative. Nobody knows another person's health history. Nobody knows another person's challenges and struggles. So please keep it positive. I always love your comments because they're always amazing and so encouraging and supportive. So that's what I'm hoping for more of. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.